Estuary News tonight, a body identified in Grimsby, a petition to save a derelict building in Hull, and going live in the culture capital. And later in tonight's programme, our very own Michelle Lalor brings us a roundup of Hull 2017 news. Before that, celebrating a quarter of a century of fundraising with Carol and Sandra. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Thursday's programme with me, Luke Adams. First tonight, a body recovered from Grimsby docks has now been identified. Police have confirmed it's that of a man in his 40s. Humber Coast Guard and Humberside Police were called to the scene off Railway Street yesterday morning. The death is not being treated as suspicious. More than 1,000 signatures have been made on a petition to save one of Hull's oldest buildings from demolition. The Lord Lyon building on St Andrew's Dock faces demolition after plans were submitted to Hull City Council last month. It's been derelict since the 70s and has suffered extensive vandalism and arson in recent years. The Owners Manor Property Group say the condition of the building is structurally unsafe and a danger to public health and safety, but supporters argue the building is a landmark and part of the city's heritage. The building was once the headquarters of the world's largest deep-water fishing fleet. A new scheme has been launched to tackle crime and antisocial behaviour across the East Riding. Voluntary and community groups across the county can now apply for up to £10,000 following the launch of the East Riding Crime Reduction Fund by the East Riding Community Safety Partnership. Almost £100,000 has been awarded to the scheme by the Humberside Police and Crime Commissioner Keith Hunter. It will be managed by Two Ridings Community Foundation. Now, an electric fence is to go live at Hull Minster. It's part of an art installation by artist Annabelle McCourt, which explores the everyday experience of people experiencing hate crime around the world. 4 giant metal posts are connected with wire, reacting to an audience's presence. The fence is live, triggering thought-provoking reactions. Annabelle says the exhibition is a personal response to an American pastor's controversial sermon.
This is the electric fence, and this has been a long time in the making, and it's based on a piece of American hate preach where a hate preacher said that all lesbians and gays should be locked in an electric fence, throw them a bit of food now and again, and they'll die out because they won't be able to breathe. And I thought, well, that's not particularly nice, is it? So that's coming from my own personal standpoint from there, but it's a wider piece about hate crime, really, so people can interpret that in any way they want to. Is it about borders, boundaries? Are you on the right side of the fence, the wrong side of the fence? Are you being kept out, or is something kept in? So that's the general idea. Because of those hate preach sort of origins, we are very deliberately here placed in a minster, in a religious building. And not only that, this is the very place where William Wilberforce himself was baptised. So of course this is running during the Freedom season. So that's like an incredible sort of parallel there, which was deliberate. I would like to take this to every twin town and city with Hull, which would be absolutely an incredible way of doing that. And taking, starting at home in Hull and taking those stories from here around the world that's one little thing, and then who knows, even more ambitious plans later on.
And a recent exhibition at Hull History Centre has been one of the most popular since the venue opened in 2010. The Hessel Roaders, Hull's fishing community, featured 100 images from Hull historian Dr Alec Gill's body of work, capturing Hull's fishing community during the 70s. Over 8,000 visits were made to the centre to visit the exhibition throughout June. An electric bike shop in Cleethorpes is set for a major reopening. Pick-a-Rock has recently undergone a refurbishment and expanded its stock of electric bicycles. The store will host its reopening event tomorrow evening. Everyone's welcome to come along. Shop owner Richard Sulby says the shop's larger premises will enable them to have more options available for the potential customer.
Well, it's not so much new life, it's just a new start. We've got bigger premise, we can demonstrate more bikes, we get more people in, and hopefully keep them happy. We've got a bigger range of bikes. We do a custom range of bikes now. We do a lot more cruiser style bikes for the people like parading up and down the promenade. At 6:30 tomorrow night we're going to open the doors. People can come in, have a chat, have a light refreshment, and we'll take them through the electric bike process, and maybe 1 or 2 of them will be converted from the conventional bikes to electric. Also, we make handmade bikes. We give the person the choice of frame, and we take them through from frame to completion, so they end up with their own personalised bike, which is an ideal present. It's about the bike fitting the person. You just don't go in the shop and buy the bike. You come in here and we fit you to the bike, and if you're not safe, we won't sell you that bike, because electric bikes can be dangerous. But it needs to fit you. People with replacement knees and hips and that, we can sort them out with pedals and everything to make life more easy for them. So if you've got aching limbs and you still want to do some cycling, pop down and we can see what we can do for you. But at the moment we've got a 100% hit rate on helping people out.
Scarecrows have descended on Haltonley Clay. The village is gearing up for its traditional village fair, along with help from some very special guests. Villagers have been making scarecrows and placing them around the village for all to see. The fair takes place this Saturday, and we'll see one lucky scarecrow crowned winner of the village. Eddie Colbeck says that the theme of scarecrows is a first for the village.
Every year we do a summer fair, and each year we try to do a different theme. This year the theme is scarecrows. Helen, one of our committee members, has always had the idea of bringing scarecrows into the village, and so this year we thought we would give it a try and see how it went. It's been really amazing. We were only expecting 1 or 2 people to take part, but we've counted so far well over 100 different scarecrows in all parts of the village. Free rein really, we just let everybody come up with their own ideas, and there's been some really interesting scarecrows that's appeared in the village. It's just really nice. We try really hard to bring the village together. This one seems to have really hit it off with different people.
A fundraiser is celebrating a quarter of a century of working for charity. Fantastic achievement. I'm delighted to welcome my first guest tonight, Carol Winter, to tell me about her efforts, along with Sandra Ackroyd, Chief Executive at Hull and East Riding Institute for the Blind. Good evening, sweethearts. Thank you very much indeed for coming and welcome to the programme. First of all, Carol, congratulations on your 25 years. What's the secret of your success?
Being able to go out there and ask people. I'm not afraid to go out there and ask for volunteers or money to help raise funds for a very worthy cause.
Like Herib is?
Like Herib is, yeah.
How did you get involved with the charity?
Well, initially, a friend of mine, her father did run or he was treasurer for what was then the Blind Institute, it was called then,
yes,
and he was blind. And I went to a function, and the then fundraiser, Bernard Wymark, he asked me if I would get involved with them and help them. So here I am.
So he obviously saw your fundraising prowess.
Obviously.
And the rest is history, as they say.
It is, yeah.
Carol, what are some of the highlights of your fundraising achievements in those 25 years?
Well, one of the amusing things was when I arranged a cycle ride, and it was up in Newbold in East Yorkshire.
Okay.
And there was a lovely hill to climb up there. And my friend at the bottom, who was on a pit stop, as one might say, I said to her, will you just start your car and help me up there? Let me hold on to your car handle. She said, no, you organised it, you pedal up there. So I had to pedal up. That was one of the amusing
One of the highlights.
Yeah, one of the highlights.
And Sandra, obviously you're probably proud of Carol's achievements in those 25 years. How valuable are people like Carol to your organisation and charities in general?
Absolutely. I mean, people like Carol are just amazing. Carol's done 25 years of fundraising, which is just phenomenal, and has raised a 6-figure sum in fundraising, which, as I say, is fantastic. People do a range of activities, and really the organisation, certainly our organisation, couldn't function without them.
So they are a vital lifeline.
A really vital lifeline.
The running of the charity.
Over 70% of the funds that we get in to run the services that we run come from fundraising activities, things, people doing things such as Carol's done. So it's amazing.
Amazing. Well done, Carol. How much have you raised in the 25 years?
In excess of £100,000.
So that's fantastic achievement. That's fantastic achievement. So where does that money actually go then into the charity? How is that money distributed and spent?
Yeah, people that raise funds can do a number of things, and they can designate what that money is spent on if they wish to do so. So Carol's money in particular has been used for a whole range of support services. She's bought new furniture for the day groups that we run. She's raised money in the past towards a minibus that we have, and we're going to talk more about minibuses, I think. She's done Christmas dinners, paid for Christmas dinners for us, haven't you? And entertainment, and just a vast array of things.
To help support their service users.
Absolutely.
Carol, I believe your next fundraising mission for Herib is a minibus. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we'll need £30,000.
Okay.
We hope to raise somewhere in the region of that. I'd love to raise that sort of money to enable me to get them a new minibus. it's vital that they have these services, because this is what they look forward to on a daily basis, taking them to and from events, isn't it? And
Absolutely.
we just really, really would love people to help me along the way with this.
So how much money have you raised so far for this minibus?
I think we're up to about 500.
About 500.
Okay.
We've only just started doing that. So
If any of our viewers are watching out there tonight and this story has struck a chord with them, how can they donate to the charity?
We've got a number of ways that people can donate to the charity. The easiest way is online, so it's through the Just Giving site, www.justgiving.com, and you can either search for Herib, or you can search for Carol Winter's 25th anniversary appeal.
And that's obviously, you know, as a way of celebrating your 25 years in
Yes.
fundraising. Another 25 years in the pipeline, Carol?
oh yes, why not?
Fantastic, fantastic. Sandra, just quickly, I was doing some research before the interview. Fantastic work you do there. Around 2,300 people in the Hull and East Riding area you provide support to.
Absolutely.
And you receive more than 4,000 telephone calls per year.
We do, yes. We receive an awful lot of referrals. People can refer into our services on a personal basis, individually. We get a lot of referrals from the eye hospital.
Very quickly, Sandra, what's the telephone number for people to call?
It's 01482 342297.
Thank you very much for coming in. Here's to the next 25 years,
Yes.
Carol.
Can I just say, while I'm on this programme, a special thank you to everyone that has helped me along the
Wonderful,
way.
wonderful.
And especially my friend Vicky.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. It's now time for a quick break. Join us after the break. Welcome back. Still to come this Thursday evening, all the latest news from the Culture Capital with our very own Michelle, and the sports news with Jack. Past staff from hospitals in the Grimsby area have had a reunion today. Staff spent the afternoon at the Beachcomber in Cleethorpes to recognise their past achievements whilst also raising funds for St Andrew's Hospice. Fred McNamara brings us more.
Hospital staff of past decades from Grimsby have been reuniting at the Beachcomber in Cleethorpes today. Staff from Grimsby General, Scarecrows Hospital, Grimsby Maternity and Springfield Hospitals have spent the afternoon reminiscing about past work life.
It's anybody who worked in any of the old Grimsby hospitals that are no more, whatever work they did, whatever speciality. So to bring them all together is lovely. And I have to say that I started it at the beginning of May, emailing and putting something in the paper, anybody interested. And I eventually got quite a lot of response. And so I created another email account, and then more and more response. So I got on with it. It's been quite easy. And Beachcomber, been brilliant. They've done all this for us. We've had donations for raffles, and it's been really good. And in the last couple of weeks, I've got a couple of helpers, which has been good. And then I've just let it happen. It's taken more time than anything. It is for the hospice, and so although everything's been free admission, hopefully they'll join in with the raffles and name cards, and just generally they've been giving at the door. Yeah.
As well as reminiscing, they've also been comparing and contrasting the current work climate for nurses with their own past experiences.
It was totally different to today's nursing. Your main thing was the patients. We worked hard. You had to ask to go to the toilet, and you had to ask to leave the ward. But the discipline was totally different, but good.
Lots of the early part, especially the nurses, there were hard times, long hours, very little pay, and they soldiered on. And it is so good. I remember some of them, even now at my age. I know some of them are older than me, quite a bit older than me, and I remember them as well. But so I've kind of been in that era. And then I was at Diana Princess of Wales, a new one. Well, I helped close the old Grimsby General. I've got pictures of me in the last, we just did a celebration and we closed it, kind of thing. Oh, it was quite sad. And then I was one of the first in the new hospital. And I thought, it's 60 years since I ever started nursing as a cadet nurse. I thought, let's do something. So here I am. Yeah, here we are.
And I'm joined now by our very own Michelle Lalor with all the latest news from the Culture Capital. Good evening, Michelle. Welcome to the programme as always. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
No problem at all.
What's happening in the world of City of Culture this week?
Well,
or coming up?
Coming up, well, I thought actually it's beautiful weather outside. Yes. I know there was rumours of thunderstorms, not happened yet. And we've got something called Park Life, which struck my eye actually, looking through the City of Culture website to see what was going on.
So nothing to do with the band Blair?
Nothing to do with the band Blur, no, nothing at all. I don't think Damon Albarn's going to be there, so no. But it's actually in Pickering Park. It's a free event and it's a vibrant new play apparently staged in various areas of the park by a local writer called Lydia Marchant.
Okay.
And apparently it takes audience, should I say, on a journey through the park. So sounds actually in this weather like it'd be quite a lovely thing to see. Young and some of the young dynamic characters who use the park. Yeah. So that's going on at the moment. More details of that are on the City of Culture website. Also, actually, I must mention, I know Hull is renowned as being a rugby city, up and under and all that, isn't it?
So.
But actually, football, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. And a must, I think, for fans of the Tigers is something which is at the Street Life Museum at the moment. And it's at the Street Life Museum of Transport. It's called Tiger Rags, the fabric of Hull City AFC.
Yes, which we featured in last night's show.
Oh, did we?
We did
well,
indeed.
I missed last night's show, so
Les
that's
Mother
great.
is the creator. Apparently, he's a bit of a Hull City obsessive of
brilliant.
all the kids and everything. So he's put on this, he's the creator behind it, put on this fantastic exhibition for sports fans, or maybe non-sports fans as well.
I think maybe just, because apparently it's saying that the kits and memorabilia show, and it shows you the culture and how it makes up the culture of Hull. And how actually it follows through, I guess, I'm sure there are a lot of bedrooms in Hull painted in orange and black. Isn't it orange and black?
Probably are. Yeah, with
the tiger stripes.
With those very strong, bold colours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I guess that goes for a lot of sporting teams and how it reflects in the city of City.
That exhibition's running until October, I
think. It is, yes, all the way through. So a really nice one, I think. Also, what struck me has been a good one. I love the Deep.
Yes,
I don't know about you, but I absolutely love it. I think it's a fantastic place.
Yes, it's a great place.
And I thought a good reason to go back and visit it again, because I haven't been for a while, would be an exhibition from somebody who grew up in Hull. And actually, he has actually lived in Thailand and Indonesia for a long time. And actually, he now has brought his exhibition back to Hull, and it's all pictures of everything to do with fish.
Okay, fantastic.
And
so very appropriate.
Deep sea diving, and it's a free exhibition, I think, if you go into the deep. Sounds like a great one to me, so I think that would be a really good one, and it's on until October. So I thought that sounded like a real good one for me.
And of course, before you go to the deep, you could pop to the new cafe, what's opened in Paragon Arcade.
Didn't we? We spoke about this.
Well, the reason we spoke about this off air this week is because it's a fantastic name.
Yes, it is.
What is the name of this new cafe?
Well, I have to say, it's called, I believe, The Two Gingers. Okay. Now, actually, you're not ginger.
I'm not at the moment,
so
but
we're
I could
not
be persuaded.
The Two Gingers.
I could be persuaded,
but apparently
yes.
the new owners of the cafe are. And I think actually maybe the fact that new cafe is open shows you how the City of Culture is actually increasing trade and business and encouraging new businesses to open in the city
centre. Well, as we reported
centre.
last week in this very spot, Michelle.
Absolutely.
It's had unprecedented visitors to the City of Culture in the first 6 months.
Yes,
and these guys said they wanted to open a new independent cafe because they felt something was missing from the whole cafe scene of Hull.
Absolutely.
And they want to use locally sourced products, so giving it that ultra Hull feel.
Which is great, actually, because you get so many of the chains, and there's nothing wrong with the chains whatsoever, but actually to have some local independent people coming along and opening this. And we have to mention one thing, don't we?
We do.
Cheesecake.
We do. Let's hope that they do really good cheesecake at this cafe.
Because we both decided the other day that we love cheesecake, didn't we? And I mentioned courgettes last week, being a vegetarian, and a film about courgettes.
We have to keep the steam going. So we should go to the cafe, check
it
out, see if they do cheesecake, and come back next week and tell us how we got on. Michelle, will you come back and see me next week?
I certainly will.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers.
Now, here's Jack with all the sport.
Kyle Edmund has been knocked out of Wimbledon. The Ticton tennis star was beaten in straight sets this afternoon by 15th seed Yale Monfils. He took the first set to a tie-break, which he lost 7-1, before losing the next two 6-4. He follows being knocked out of the doubles competition yesterday. Hull City's new boss says he expects to have new signings on their trip to Portugal next week. Leonard Slutsky's squad head to the Algarve for 3 games, and he says that loan players from Chelsea are likely to be amongst them. The Russian is good friends with fellow countryman and Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich.
We are speaking about some Chelsea players, and really we are very close to sign some players from Chelsea on loan. I think official information will be before our trip to Portugal.
Meanwhile, outgoing from City looks likely to be Ahmed El Mohammadi. Reports in the Midlands today say he's close to signing for Steve Bruce's Aston Villa. It will be the 3rd time he'll have played under the former City boss, having also played for him at Sunderland. Former Grimsby Town player and manager Graham Rodger has been appointed as the club's new chief scout today. He's currently working as town's community officer and will take on his new role immediately. Rodger has been scouting for a number of different clubs in recent years. Rugby now, and Hull FC will be again without Chris Green for tomorrow's game at St Helens. He's missed recent weeks with a sternum injury, as has captain Gareth Ellis. Head coach Lee Radford says it's a rarity.
Same as Gaz Ellis, whack on the sternum, and it's freakish. We've had 2 very similar sort of injuries in such a short space of time. We went all season last year not picking up that injury. So yeah, hopefully back in next, anytime soon. And it's something spoke to the medical staff. Look, do we pad up in precaution? Obviously, each individual player has their preferences to what sort of strapping they have and padding they wear. But yeah, we copped a couple in a couple of weeks, and sometimes that's impact. There's not a great deal you can do about it.
FC have got an unchanged squad for the game tomorrow, which kicks off at 8, and that's all for the sport.
Thanks very much, Jack. That's it for tonight, I'm afraid. As always, if you have a news story, then please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages or email news@estuary.tv. You can also phone our news desk, which is a Grimsby number 01472 31553, and you can also write to us at the usual address. Details on the screen now. As always, we'll look forward to hearing from you. And just time to quickly say, Estuary News is travelling far and wide thanks to our Facebook live streaming service. Many thanks to Lorraine in Scotland for watching. We'll be back same time tomorrow from all of us on the team. Good evening.